Hi my Pity friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Jenny from the Pity Crafter, and today I have decided to make a different type of video. I'm trying to get my videos all settled for when I won't be here at home in Massachusetts, but visiting my mom in Puerto Rico. So one of the videos for today is going to be certain ephemera that I've made that does not need sewing, or you could sew, but I'm gonna leave them without sewing, and I'll explain to you in a little bit. So anyways, yeah, that's the video for today. Just different things, different type of ephemera that you can either use as pages to cover an entire page, or to put inside pockets, you know, tucks, things like that. All right, so good morning everyone. Today for me is Tuesday. It's the start, the real start from the morning of my summer vacation, and I will be going to specialist today, a rheumatologist, to figure out what's happening with my my body, my physical body, and my hands and all that type of thing. So I will keep you posted, but without further ado, let's begin. So one of the things that I made a while back, and the reason why I haven't made a video is because I was debating on whether or not, let me see if I can put it a little bit, I think that's better. I was debating on whether or not I would sew around it. So these are these little booklets. They're made out of 6x6 paper, and I have a lot of 6x6 paper pads. So what I did was they're all gonna be tied with they're all gonna be closed with some sort of tie like this. Here I just used twine, and as you can see, I just rolled it around a few times and then did a bow. And then this is the actual paper. See what happened there for a minute? So that's why maybe I thought I was gonna sew around it. So I probably will at some point, but it doesn't need sewing. So if you don't own a sewing machine, or you don't know how to use a sewing machine or stitch, etc., that's fine. So this is the 6x6 paper, this one right here, and I have a whole bunch of these pads in different themes. And what I did was I took them all out and chose, for some of them I chose 2, for some of them 1, to make these little booklets to go with either themed journals or different journals. And then I embellished the front. So this is a label that came from a pack. It was like a vintage blue pack that I got from Amazon, and this is a sticker that came in that same pack. For those of you that are new to my channel, or new to journaling, junk journaling, scrapbooking, just so that you are aware, if you want things to stay permanently, right, and not lift up or not come out of the page, stickers are not permanent. So if you want them to stay permanently, you need to put glue. I use this glue, which is pH neutral PVA. As you can see, it's like coming off the label, and I got this from Amazon. And this is for book binding and paper projects, but you can really use it even on lace and fabric. If I don't, this is the last of this one. I like it. This is my favorite. The other one is this one. It's art glitter glue. It dries clear, it's adhesive, it's permanent, water-based, non-toxic, and it comes, if you buy it on Amazon, it comes in this big pack right here. And this is not an affiliate, you know, or a sponsor or anything like that. I don't get paid by Amazon like others do. I don't have enough followers. So it comes in with this this bottle, and then some of them come together. Some of them you can buy them separate. So yeah, so you have those alternatives for permanent glue. Sometimes you can get the glue stick that's permanent and it'll stay pretty well. But in my opinion, if I use glue stick, I will always sew around it. I don't like it. Not that I don't like it, I don't trust it as much as other crafters do. Anyways, so what I did was I used staples. As you can see, mine are kind of wonky. They don't always go in the center right here, like where I want them to be. I have staples in color, so I tried to use the blue ones, but just an FYI, I thought they would stay the color, but sometimes when you put the force on it, the color will come off. So anyways, then I chose different pieces of paper. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think 10, 9, yep, 10. So I chose different pieces of paper that would color coordinate. So this one came with this kit that I got from Amazon. And this is just a piece of paper with some writing on it. It's blank on the back. This is just some Astro Bright blue. This is a little vellum blue that came in that pack as well. This is just some white copy paper, graph paper. This is blue lined paper. This is from a really old piece of paper that was for an album that came with the sleeves for pictures, for photos. So I have a whole bunch of that. This is a different lined paper. This is like manuscript or student teacher paper where you write. And this is some blue graph paper, and that's the middle. Okay. And I rounded the corners in the 6x6, but not in the papers. And I didn't mind that the papers were different heights at all. So I did a little booklet. So that would be tucked inside whatever journal I make that kind of matches that. And since I'm making color journals, I thought this was great. So I made a whole bunch of them. Let me see if I can show you. They're not all done for, this didn't go like this. They're not all done for viewing. And then what I did was I just went like that, and I wanted the tie to be here, kind of like on the side. So I think I did staple all of them. I just didn't, like, I was thinking about that thing that I told you. Or maybe I didn't staple all of them, about whether or not I was going to sew around them. But one moment. So these are all the ones I made. So, you know, see how it has a paper clip? So these I haven't stapled. So yeah, so I made all of these different ones. Little black and white, gothic, purple, blue, things like that, so that I could have for my stash, you know. And I keep all of my ephemera right next to here, to my viewing or camera, you know, where I do my my videos. Sorry, very early in the morning. It is like 4:30. I woke up, I'm done sleeping for today. I'm excited about it being summer, but I also am nervous about my appointment today. I don't know if I can drink my coffee too hot, but let's check it out. A little too hot for a full sip, so some water. All right, the next thing that I did, I'm trying to go on the things that I don't have that much of, are these. So, and I labeled them so that I know. I've been watching Gayle Agostinelli, and I will link her channel down below. Almost as long as I have been watching Helen Colebrook, and I'll also link her down below. Helen Colebrook was the YouTuber who really got me into junk journaling, or what I called it at the beginning was creative journaling, which was actually journaling, but using, you know, stickers and embellishments and things like that on your page. And as I watched her more and more, then I saw a video of Natasa from Treasure Books, where she turned which I will link her down below as well. Let me write all these down so I don't forget. Well, she was making a video. Oops. See, way too early. Natasha was making a video of how to alter like cards, right, that you get. And in her case, if I was not mistaken, it was a Christmas one, and it was around November that I saw the video. So And I said Gayle Agostinelli and Helen Colebrook and Natasa from Treasure Books. I'll keep this here in case I mention anyone else. So anyways, when I saw her do that with a an old card that she got, like, you know, a Christmas card, and she turned it into a journal, I said, ooh, I'm gonna try that. And as I was sitting, I was actually sitting in the it was when I used to be able to sit in the floor in the living room while my husband was watching, I think he was watching football or something. I was having so much fun, and I had so many embellishments around me. And at the end, when I finished my first one, which I kept it, it's not, and it used to be in, I never actually listed it, I don't think. But anyways, I kept that one for myself because that was the first one I ever did. And when I was done, I showed it to my husband, and I think I've said this story before. And I asked him, like, do you like it? Isn't it cool? Or, you know, and I had the little pockets and things that at that time, I was still using a lot of store-bought things, nothing vintage, and I wasn't sewing at the time. So he was like, yeah, I love it. It's great. It's, you know, and he was very excited about it. And after about, I would say 10 or 15 minutes of him going back to his show, he looks at me and says, you should sell those. And I started laughing. I was like, no. What are you talking about? It's like, this is for me to journal. And he's like, no, they're so good. They're so well done and everything that you should sell them. And that started my journey. So he was the big promoter of me selling and my and my Etsy shop. So what I was trying to say was that I have a lot of my ephemera in big Ziploc bags that are named. So these are all my altered pages. When I create them, I put them in here. But Gayle Agostinelli, she has them in like shoe boxes that she's decorated, or cute little plastic boxes from the Dollar Tree or from other places that she's bought. I just don't have space right here to do that, so I just keep them like that. So what I did was, originally, this was one of my first altered pages here. And I did this with coffee dyed paper that I coffee dyed myself. And I think Natasha was showing a video of how different types of embellishments that you could make on a page, and she created an actual journal where she did that. And one of them was using washi tape, right? Sorry, I'm getting a glare, so I'm moving. So anyways, when so she did this one, and what she did was the cover page, she took different types of washi tape, and you can do it by theme, you can do it random, however you want. So what I decided to do was do mine by theme. So I think I created 2 for Christmas, for winter. You'll see some of them now. I'll show them because they're done. And this, you can sew around it if you wanted to. I don't recommend it. She doesn't recommend it, because if you sew around washi tape, it could really ruin your needle from the sewing machine, because it's so sticky. It's like it's tape. You know, it's not like glue where you can sew around it because it dries and it doesn't really damage your needle. But the tapes like this does. And believe me, I made a mistake. So I will never sew around washi tape. So in order for it to be permanent, some people use the permanent glue stick. And I started doing that. And as you can see, this I did, not even last Halloween, probably like a year and a half ago, maybe more. And it's still here. Nothing has come up. Okay. But sometimes I like to use the wet glue to make sure that it's really permanent. But most of the time for these, I will use the glue stick. So this is the first one I did, if I'm not mistaken, or one of the first ones, and it's Halloween theme. And I have a pack of washi tape that I got. I think these I got either at Michael's or at Hobby Lobby, a big pack that comes with seasonal washi tape. So it came with all this Halloween, and then I added some different colors that would match. So what she did was this. She only did the front cover, and then when you put this in your journal, right? This is your book, your journal, you put it here. Then when you open it, she did this section, okay? And then that's it. Then the other two are perfect. So you could do a lot of other stuff with it, like, you know, play around with it. So this is one of them, the Halloween. Let me show you. Let's see. Well, I'll show all of them to you. Then I had this pocket. This was from an agenda that I had, and I deconstructed it, and I hadn't used it in anything, and it comes with this pocket right here. See? So what I did was I embellished the inside, which is supposed to go, because usually you do the pockets like in the middle. Oh, I got put glue there. So I did the whole thing with a like a sailor. This is like sailing theme, but looks like antique, right? Old sailing pirate type of kind of thing. It has some pirate ships, you know, things like that around it. Right here. Okay. And the pockets are supposed to be inside, but you could have them on the outside. It's up to you. But I did this one, okay? Then I started mixing and matching, and what I did was, this is for a pink journal, so not necessarily Easter, was I did, so this is the front. I just did 2 washi strips on the top and the bottom, and then when you opened it, just 2 washi strips on the sides here. So I thought that that was cute. As you can see, the only thing here is that they're pink. I did the same thing with this green one, which is 2 washi strips on the top and 2 washi strips on the bottom. And this is all this coffee dyed paper. I personally coffee dyed it. I actually coffee dyed it at work during my lunch. This one is kind of just green as well. This is the first original version, and I put all types of green washi tape that I found, and relatively easy. Like I did this during my lunch break. I ate lunch, I washed my hands, I did this, I put on like a video on my computer and did it, so you could do it while you're watching TV. I did a red one. This one I inverted. The one to the sides is in the front page, and the ones on top is in the middle. Okay. And the way I coffee dyed paper, I don't know if I'll do a video because it's, you know, it's tedious. But here, I forgot to cut here a little bit. The way I coffee dye paper different ways. If I'm at work and it's my lunchtime, I will coffee dye it using like using tissue or the brown paper that you use to dry your hands. Using that, I will soak it a little bit in the leftover coffee that I have that's cold that I don't drink, and then kind of go over the pages. Or I'll just put that paper on my desk and then put the white paper and then just dump a little bit and then spread it around and then put it on the window to dry. When I'm at home, I usually have a bin, and then I soak the papers in there. Then I take the papers out of the bin that's filled with the coffee. I put it in the oven to kind of cook and dry. Let me take a sip. So yeah, so you have different methods. Everyone has different methods as well. So this is the red one, and this is in the original version. So as you can see, it still has white spots. This is because I put it on the heater, and it was a day that it was cold, so it made those lines, which I loved. This is the yellow one for my yellow journals, and the same thing. I did the top here, just the top and bottom, and then the sides right here. Okay. So another yellow, that's full page. And like I said, these are very easy to do. The only reason why they could take long is because the how short or long you want the strips of washi tape to be. At one point, it became where I'm like, I'm ripping this washi tape longer. And that's when I started doing these, which is the long ones here on the side. This is brown, just in case you can't see that well. And then here. And then I use this for the brown because this is leftover paper from one of the books that I get at Amazon that you can get journal pages from. So I'll probably chop off the white later on. But yeah, that was this one. So I did all these altar pages. I think I've already used them, but I also did some in the original format like this that were with flower washi tape that I use for some of the spring journals. Okay, so these are altered pages. These are done. Okay. This right here is what I call page flips. Some of these will be sewn around, but I just wanted to show you what they look like because you know they're completed. So these are all the same but in different colors and themes. And let me get a piece of paper so that you can see, because they go on the page. So if I were to have this piece of paper, right, and this is from the Astro Brights, and you know, 8.5 by 11, I fold it like this. This is the size of my journal pages. Okay. So this I used book page and 6x6 papers. Okay, so what it is a flip. It's called, these are all page flips. So you take this, you go like this, right? Let's see, wherever you would want it, and then you would just glue here and here so that you could make a tuck spot. That's why they're not on a page yet, because it's whenever I do that. And then on the other side, you can glue the whole book page, which this one is double book page, so it should be sturdy enough. If you wanted to make it into also a side pocket, you could only glue, you'd only glue here and here, which I'd probably do because I tried to make them sturdy enough for that. And then here you would put a tag. There you go. A tag in here. So that's what these are. So I made this one. I made this one for furry journals. I made this one, which you can use. I made it really for a, oh, and then another thing. Let's see. I didn't do it here. Huh. Oh, so if you decide to do like this, right? Which you would glue here and here, make this pocket, and instead of gluing it down, right, you just hinge it here. When you open the hinge, these are the ones where I put a piece of paper so that you could write. So that's this one. So this is a little different. This one doesn't have that writing piece of paper. So you can alter them however you want. And then I made this one for the bee. I made this one also with the paper. This is more of like gothic. I made another one for bee journals. And again, these are all have pockets here. Okay, and I want to say this one came from Gayle Agostinelli as well. So if you want to see how to make this, because I don't come up with these ideas myself, believe me. How to make this, yes, go to her channel, but she divides her videos. So you can write Gayle Agostinelli ephemera video and they'll come up. Is that it for that? Yep. Then this is another thing that I make. I do not sew around these. I've made a lot of them. This is like a leftover that I took from a stash that I had. And what it is just, I have this paper that's this size. I have this paper right here. And this is from a book that I got at Walmart with all these papers. They all are like a little beige color. It's for calligraphy or manuscript or cursive writing, right? So I stained these with food coloring a while ago, and what I did is I created this tag, right? I embellished the front of the tag, but in reality it's a whole lot of journaling space, okay? And what I did is I just, you know, folded it in the middle and then folded it in 3 and then cut the original in a tag shape, and all I do is I just embellish the front. It's the only thing that takes a long time, like if you don't want to dye, because dyeing takes a long time because of the drying, is because I did stain the edges here. And this one, since it's a Gothic one, I stained it with black soot from Tim Holtz. Okay, so this is another idea for embellishment. Put that there. These I also saw Gayle Agostinelli do, and these are using the book from, oh, I forgot the name. I'm gonna be making a mess taking all these things out, but sorry. The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady, and I got 2 copies. I thought I'd keep one for myself, and these are not vintage. I got them on Amazon or Etsy or something like that. They're from Edith Holden. You can find vintage, but they're very expensive, probably on eBay and Etsy. But I ordered one, which is the one that I'm using, and this one that's for me. So I saw also Gayle Agostinelli, who was working with someone else, someone that she has on her channel a lot. I forgot the name. If I don't remember the name, I'll still list it below. Friend, I'm gonna put here, friend of Gayle. I know it's a man, but he sent her, he did a lot of ephemera with pages from Edith Holden. And so this is just a flip, right? A page flip. So, and I've already used these in some of my journals. If I had one available, I'd showed you. So you can do various things. You can just glue here and make it a tall, you know, pocket. But usually what I do is I just glue the sides and make it a side tuck. And then it's a flip on the other side, right? And then you just flip like this. And you have, if this side is the pretty, you just leave it and then embellish it if you want. And then you put writing paper here to write. Or if this is the prettiest, you just embellish and then put writing paper here to write. Or you could also, you know, glue, make another pocket. So many things to do. So this one is that. These I do want to sew around, but... and I already showed you what it would look like. So it's basically the same thing. This like that, I just put it this way. And what I wanted it to do, I want the bird to show, right? And then here, I want the September to show. So in my case, it would be, I would probably go here and here and make this a tuck. And then leave the September and then just leave it open. And I don't like this, so probably have a little writing space there. So it's basically the same as the other one. This one I just put on the paper so that I could remember what it was supposed to be like. This one I already added the paper. So this I'm gonna use as a page. And then this I would just put right here on the page. So the object is to glue this down and down. Okay, can you see? There's so much stuff over here. So glue this, right, on the, like when I sew it into a signature. So that's why it's not glued right now. And this is your writing paper. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna put the clip on so I remember. So I did the same thing here, except here I already clipped it like that. And then this would go on you'd sew through here, right? The 3 pamphlet stitch. So this is your page for writing. And this is here your July page that you can see. And then here. And then I would which I guess I already did, but it didn't come out right. But it was supposed to just be just glue here and here, but this is gonna be embellished somehow. Okay, let's see, and this one is probably the same thing, to hinge on a page. Let's see how I was gonna try to do this, probably like that, right? Like hinge it here, glue it here, and then I'm not sure what I was thinking, or yeah, something like that, or glue it here. One of those. So yeah, probably something like that, where you glued it here, and then this would flip out, and then you have that. Can you see that? Not even. Yep. So anyways, weird things like that. This is another one. This one I glued together because I want to put this inside the signature, right? Okay. And this was another one of those. Okay, so I have a whole bunch. Now these are definitely going to be sewn together, sewn around. But what they are is, let me take this, is they are, you put them over the page. It's an over the page tag, right? Put them over the page, and then you flip, and you have writing space here. When you open the page, you have this, and you have writing space here. And this, you just clip on, okay? So these still, I have a whole bunch of them. And these I make with scraps usually. So I have all of these in different sizes, colors, etc. So what I do is I'll ink around it, and then I will sew around them. Okay. And some of them, if I don't like the white in here, I'll put a piece of paper. And I do have lots of lined color pieces of paper that are small enough that I could put on these. So that could be a project for the summer to finish these off. I have to finish these off at some point because I want to use them for my upcoming journals. Yeah. So what time is it? I'm at 31 minutes. So I'll leave that back. Then I have this, which are called pockets. And I have different ones. Some that will be sewn, some that won't. So I'm going to show you the ones that I'm not going to sew. I made these a really, really long time ago, and I probably already showed them to you, but since I wasn't sure, here we go. These are using bags, paper bags here, and napkins and lace. So what you do is you get a paper bag. So I did different colors or versions, and you just embellish it. You embellish it with lace and napkin, right? So this I gotta glue there. So this is this. Okay, and that's it. They're just embellished like that. So I have that one, this one, and also they're so old. Look, I have to fix them when I put them in the book. And then what you do is, instead of putting the bag like I do in the middle of the page where I put it, and then, you know, you have two sides, this actually goes like this in a page, and then you glue the whole thing. These are made out of really thin paper, so I wouldn't use it as a back tuck or pocket either. I would just glue the whole thing on the page like that, so it fills up your page, and now you have a nice little sack and bag. Then I let me finish these. Sure that I for these I have a yellow one. Okay. And these I use the white bag. Then I have this other yellow one, and I use this polka dot bag. This is, I use the black and white bag, more little gothic-y one. And this, I use this pink bag. I have to trim that. Okay, then I used, which I had a whole bunch of these really, really big doilies, paper doilies. So I used those to make these. And it's just the big paper doily, and I folded it in three, and then I folded it up. And what I did was I picked a piece of scrapbook paper. So you have here a pocket in here. I think it's supposed to go down, isn't it? Or no? Let me see. Before I make a mess. just to there. And then I have a pocket here. This one I always have to, nope, I thought I did. So just that little pocket. This is just embellishment. So that, okay. Because you could have made this into a pocket, but this is so flimsy. Now I remember why. When I saw the video, it's so flimsy that you could tear it. So, and then you just embellish in the bottom with the same scrapbook paper as up here to make like a little design. And you could embellish it even more wherever you put it. So I have that one. I did this one right here. And again, these are pretty. I've made them a long time ago, so you know I gotta take. They stick to the page, but yeah. So you can put whatever you want there. And this one, I guess I did. I didn't glue down. So this one's this one. Okay. This one's this. This one I did glue down, as you can see. You just gotta be careful with the little thing. Or the little journal card. And there, this goes down. This I gotta keep doing that. Okay. And then they're just embellished here. My nails. And then I have this little kind of purple one. There you go. So I did all those. Those are in the pockets. And then let's see what I got here. Some of these are sewn around. So this is a pocket that goes, where do I put my paper? So you would put it, okay. So you would put it here, like that, right? And this is the hinge that you would glue. Glue the hinge, and then when you open here, you have a belly band, right? And then you open here, and then you have like a little tuck. Okay, so I made a few of those. So there's one. This I did not sew around it. There's one right there. Let's see, did I make any more? Nope, that's it. So there's one of that one. Then I made these. These you don't sew around. But what they are is, it's like this type of pocket, right? Like that. And so this you just tuck inside something, and then you put little things inside of here. Here as well. I think a lot of these I made them for my Gothic journals, and then I had left over. And I really can't remember how I made this. So here's another one. So for me to show you, I would probably have to redo it, the whole thing myself. So, but I think I also got this idea from Gayle Agostinelli. I use a lot of her videos. Like I view her a lot, and let's see, let me put that there. Okay. This is just a book page pocket. So, and this I did not double page it, so it's very thin and very frail. So you would just glue the whole thing to the page. This is already glued around. And then you, either you can flip it if it's a big page, or you can put another piece of the book page here. And then that's the pocket, and then I just embellished it. So these are fun to do. They're very easy. These are just Edith Holden pages that I took, and I'm going to use this pocket. What I did was the hinges here, and these I'm going to sew around. I haven't sewn around those. This is the same thing. I like these images. So these are just like this, and then these are the hinges. Okay. These are just book pages, and I did back them so that if I wanted, so they're supposed to be like, how is it that I make them? Like this, right? They're supposed to be like this, and then here, this is a collage book page, and then I will sew around this then you embellish it, and then here's pocket. And then you can do this. So I have all these that I still have to sew around, but I used this paper to make it sturdy, and I don't know if you can see, probably because they're not stained, but this is not one book page. These are multiple book pages, like a collage that I did. That's that. Okay, so I have this one I already stained around it. I just have to sew, and I did a little notch here, and this is to be a pocket. And let's see, these as well. So this is kind of like a little sack pocket, so it's like this. You don't have to sew around it because it's already glued, right? But I could, it'll just make the pocket a little smaller. So for these, I'd probably just leave the same. So you just, you know, stick it in there, and then whoop, whoop, up here. And then you can decide, for this one, you can decide if you want to make it a double pocket. You would just glue the 3 sides. And then these are just leftover scraps that I put in here in case I wanted, like these, for example. This is supposed to be, so these are backed, like this is double page, right? And this is double page. And what I want to do is for this to go here as a pocket, right? So I left it like this because I want to sew around it. And I think the only reason why I left it like this is because I want to put something up here, like a piece of lace first, because I could have already glued it down. So I have 2 of those that I wanted to do. And this, I am not sure what I wanted to do with this, but I think I wanted to do something like that, right? Well, who knows, but probably. And then this to be the pocket. But yep, many different things. And these are using library cards. Okay, so I picked a piece of scrapbook paper and I created the library card pocket. These are all done, unless I wanted to sew around, and I don't think I will. And this is then actually the library card. I just cut them down to fit, front and back. You just put it in there. So I have this one. I have this one. This one I did with book page. So I'll probably put something in the back here to make it sturdier. And then you just glue these on the page, you know, glue them here. You could glue 2, just glue 1 in the middle, however you would like to do it. Here's a B one, a pink one. This is just red and black. Black with flowers. Another pink one. This has a different journaling card. And what I did here, these are the actual pockets. And I just embellished the pocket. And this is the journaling card. So I did that. So this is the same thing. This is an actual pocket. You take this out and it goes on. And I was able to use the whole thing. And that's that one. And this one. And this one. This one. And this one. So these were fun to make as well. Okay. Let's put all these in here. Okay. The other thing I did was I made these, which are called index card journal cards. And this is from, I'm not really sure. But it's not from any of these 3. It's either going to be Diane Hubert or Sheree from Turquoise Dreaming. Okay, either way, I'll link both of them because I mentioned them. I'll link both of their channels. But yeah, so what she did was she took a regular index card, this one or the bigger ones, and then she folded them in half and then cut and made journal cards out of them. And these you don't sew. These are very easy, and all you do after you make them is, I'll show you a few. This this whole batch is completely done in different themes, is on the line side, you embellish it with whatever you want, a sticker. So, you know, and I have fluorescent ones, and I have regular primary colors and pastel colors. So this is kind of like Eastery. So I did some Easter ones. And then the back is just that. It's just an index card. Very, very easy. So some of the stickers are in the middle. Some I have on both of the bottoms, or some I have on the top. So I wanted to like make them different. So that's the Easter batch. This is the like pink batch for pink journals. So purple. And then in the back it's just blank so that people can write on it. You could do it the other way around. The person that I saw doing it did it on the line side. I don't know why. I stuck with that one. Sorry, yawning. So I made a whole bunch in different themes for everything that I could think of at the time that I was making. For my music journals, for my coffee journals, because you know, they're very easy. These are the white ones. So I used black and white stickers for these. And then those I won't, but these I will ink around with black soot. So yeah, I made a whole bunch, and in the back they're white. And the other thing I did, those I just haven't embellished, so they're not here, is I took the white index cards and I, after I cut them, I don't know why I did it after, but after I cut them, I coffee dye stained them. So those I haven't decorated yet, but yep, those are there. Those I'll probably do vintage stickers for those. So I finished that one. And then this is the last thing that I have, and I think I've showed you guys some of these. These do not require any type of, some might require sewing, I'm not sure, but I have a whole bunch of all of these. And since I don't do, like, you know, a make with me, I thought I'd showed you guys. Okay, so some of these I made a long time ago. So these are called booklets, and these I did 2 holes with my hole puncher with the small one, and I tied with this different type of twine, color twine, and they're just little booklets of different types of paper. And that's the middle. I don't know how much paper I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6, right? And I just, at the time that I was making these originally, I was just thinking of the journals that I was making. So a lot of these are gothic, as you can see. You can see the holes there and the twine. And this is very fun because there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's whatever, see the witch? It's whatever, whatever papers you have left over. I had a lot of leftover papers. See how these aren't even the same? So like scraps of paper. These are things to do with your scraps of paper. And you can make little booklets like this, small, big, etc. Is that it for that? No, here's some more. So scraps of paper. And that's what I did with these. Now with these, what I did was, this is the paper that I used to get at Temu that I didn't know it was so small, but it's supposed to be to make a small scrapbook. So instead of using all the paper that came, I would use just one page as the cover, use the twine, and then put the little scrap paper in here. So sometimes I use 2 pages, as you can see, like here, to use it up. And that's this little booklet. I did this one. So I used 2 pages, see? There. I used this, I did this one. This one was just with scrapbook paper. And this is hard, like almost like cardstock. I used the white twine. And I used 2 cardstocks in here. I did this one, which is more vintagey. And I used 2 cardstocks as well. So for those that are bigger, I used 2 cardstocks. This is the B one. Please let me know in the comments if you're watching my video if I'm going too fast. So remember, these are junk journals, creative journals, so nothing needs to be perfect because look. But, you know, for me, it was fine. This is just something to tuck in to a pocket or add, you know, in the goodie bag. So let's see. I have a whole bunch of those here. This one. Oops. I think that's it. Yep. So I have this one. And this is a fun thing to do with, I have so many book pages. You have no idea because I alter books, so many. It's the same thing as with envelopes. I'm dying to make the envelope little booklet because now that I've been thrifting and I've been getting a lot of cards. So that's a little fall one. So those are that. Let me start putting the booklets back in here because I make a mess. Then those require no sewing. Those are completely done. Then one day I made these, and I cannot remember who I saw them, but probably Gayle Agostinelli. I just need for some of these the string, right, or the twine. So you just take scraps of paper, and only 2 in this case. No, it's 1 leftover scrap of paper that you turn over like this, and then an index card, the small ones that I just showed you. Okay, and then you put it in, and then you do 2 holes. You put, and some of them they have brads, and some of them they have the eyelets. And then you tie it with some sort of string or ribbon, something like that. So that's this one. This one has the brads. If it has the brads, you don't need string. And then I have done like stained index cards before. These, like for example, they require the string. I haven't put it on yet. Okay. I have a whole bunch of these that have eyelets. And then inside, look, these are my index cards that I've stained. Oh, that eyelet came out. So I think maybe the brad sometimes are better because as you can see, the eyelet came out. There. Here's this one. This just has a plain white one. This has just a plain blue one. No, this one's stained blue. This goes over here. And this is with the brad. So I did all of those. And then these are using envelopes. Well, before I show you the envelope ones, I started doing these for my Easter journals, which I never was able to get around doing this year. And this was with scraps left over from the Easter pad. And these are just stapled right here. Little staple booklets. These are not stained or anything. They have book page, a piece of colored paper, Astro Bright, and then one of those little rabbits. So I did one. Oh, look, this is the colored staples that I was talking to you about. So I did that one, and let's see, I did this one, but this one flips up. Then I did this one. I did a whole bunch. I counted how many journals I was going to make, which I made 0. And I made booklets for all of them. And then all I did was staple them in the middle with staples. Just use leftover scraps that I had. So that was that. Make sure. Okay. Then this was also a long time ago. These were made out of envelopes. So this would be the cover, right, to embellish. And in here you can put goodies, and then you just have the papers. And after I said that that was the front, is it the front though? I'm not really sure. And then here is a pocket. So maybe the front, or maybe this is the front. I'm not sure. I think this is the front because look, see, I made them so long ago. So I made that one, this one, yeah, and then you have a pocket here. Let me use my thank you card. Pocket up here, a pocket down here, and then you open. This is for the bees, and then you have the envelope. So I made all of these. This is from dyed envelopes that I make myself. And they're different like colors, different versions. Like I can use that in my blue journals and my pink journals. These have little skulls, so probably in my gothic journals. This is like pink or purple. I think purple. But also like gothic-y things. But that doesn't matter. Yep. And all these are tied, glued down for pockets, some way, somehow. This is just very neutral, but lots of pinks. And also with just a long range stapler. This is a green one. This is kind of like a blue one, but it has like a little pumpkin there. I don't think that matters, right? It's like blue-green. More like bluish green. Oh, that's stuck there. And just these are 6x6 pieces of paper. Sometimes I'm like, what do I do with these 6x6 pieces of paper? Oh, and look, and this one has all the stuff that I wanted to put inside. So let's check it out. I'm glad I have stuff here. So I put an index card. This is scrapbook paper pieces. The color coordinate. And then I use some of these, I have these little books with quotes and sayings. So I use some, I guess, and then just clip them there. I'm not really in focus. I'm not even looking. I probably shouldn't have woken up this early because now I'm tired. My husband would tell me, see? And the good thing is that you have so much pre-made stuff that when it comes time to embellish your journal, like, oh, I already have stuff for that. This goes here. And this is this one. So this is like orange peach. And then this is another orange peach, I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. And this is cardstock. Okay, so right. So these are booklets that I haven't been able to staple. That's the only thing that's missing. Using Edith Holden as a cover. So it has just, you know, all the papers. And then I put an envelope in the middle, so I would have to cut here. And then it has a mother. So I guess I was going to use these for Mother's Day quote in there. So I have a whole bunch of those. I just have to staple in the middle and then cut the envelope. So yeah, so I have these that I still haven't finished. So to be done, the same thing. Let me just open them so you can see. So yeah, they're all to be done. Yep, right there. I already put them in the order I wanted them. Here's some like Easter ones, I guess. Yep. So the only thing different here is that the envelope is in the middle for 2 pockets in these. So some ideas for you guys for ephemera, and these do not need any sewing. You just need a stapler, a long range stapler, and then that's it. And if you don't have one, you could still stitch. So that one was easy as well. So that's it, my friends. That is it for my ephemera. that's finished ephemera or almost finished ephemera. I have a whole bunch of other ones, like if you want to see, where am I at? Oh, no, 59. So I will show you next time, because I do have a lot of tags and a lot of journal cards and things like that. They just, they all need to be finished or sewn around. But I hope I gave you guys some ideas of different ephemera that you can put in your journals or that you can create yourself. Easy peasy. If you like my content, please hit like. Please subscribe to my channel. Go on down to my Etsy shop to go see all the wonderful and beautiful things that I have there for you, your friends, and family. Again, thanks for watching, and that's it for me, my pretty friends. Until next time, bye.